This story was sent in by a fan who said that they've had this story passed down through their family over a couple generations. It goes back to the hills of Pennsylvania around the late 18 or early 1900s. There was an old witch woman they called Granny Blackteeth. She lived back in a holler there in an old house. This old woman said that the land was hers to do as she saw fit and cursed it. Not even a single critter would go near that land except for crows. That land there was littered with crows. The trees and plants started dying. Folks said she conjured up all kinds of crazy things out there. But those old things wouldn't dare leave the holler. Now, story goes, a man named Chester Brooks was traveling one day when it got dark and he got lost there. He accidentally wandered into her holler and made camp. He ate some of his rations and thought that the place just didn't feel right. After he ate a bite, he figured he'd try to find his way out of that place because it just radiated evil. He stood up, gathered his stuff, and then old Granny Blackteeth leaned out from behind a tree and asked, "What you doing on my land, Chester Brooks?" This just scared him half to death. One thing was the fact that she knew his name. The other was how she looked. She had sort of a lace-like material draped over her head of old white stringy hair that stuck out underneath it everywhere. She was wearing an old tattered nightgown and a raggedy old blanket was draped over her shoulders. But what got him the most was her skin looked like dried, cracked clay. And it seemed like she had black goo around her teeth. And he wouldn't forget those eyes. They were dark and hollow eyes. He screamed and grabbed his Bible from his bag. He closed his eyes and began praying. And the next thing he knew, he fell asleep. Now, when he came to, it was the next day in early morning, and he was just outside the nearest town. He never knew just how he got there. He told a few people in town what happened. They said, "Oh, that was old Granny Blackteeth." Wow, that was quite the story. When I read it the first time, and then I guess when I was reading it out loud too, I just kind of pictured myself there in that situation. Man, Granny Blackteeth sounds creepy. There's black goo over her teeth, the dried up skin, and the eyes. Ooh, man. Does not sound like somebody you'd want to mess with. I do wonder where this was in Pennsylvania, but it's hard to say for sure. Man. Something else. What would y'all think about it? Let me know in the comments. And then, of course, if you've got a story, you can send it to us at spookyappalachia@gmail.com, or you can send it to our P.O. box. It's shown on the screen. And definitely make sure to share this out. Tell your friends about us. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And don't forget, folks, stay spooky. Good night.